Our esteemed guest and expert for today, they are from I4C, which is Indian Cybercrime Coordination Center, which is attached office to MHA and is running a lot of initiatives for cybercrime. Today with us we have Shri Nishant Kumar, Director I4C, and Shri Gautam Kumar, DC I4C. May I have a big round of applause, please? Let's hear out from them the initiative they have brought up and how an industry can contribute. Looking forward to it.
Thank you very much. Myself, as I was introduced, Nishant Kumar, Director I4C. So I hope most of you are aware of what is I4C and how what it works. So one thing that normally overlaps is like there is one which is called cyber security, and other one what we are doing is cyber crime prevention. So there is a thin line of difference between cyber security and cyber crimes. So hope that is clear because you all are experts in your domain and area.
It would be nice to know what you're doing. So
I'm coming on that. That's the first part that I'm telling. We are dealing with cyber crime that I wanted to say, because normally there is my team which is working in our MHA also. We have cyber security division which is dealing with cyber security part. So we are not dealing exactly with cyber security. We are dealing with cyber crime. But of course there are overlaps and there are some differences as well. This is the first part what we are doing. Second, in terms like what we are doing. So under cybercrime prevention, there are multiple domains, multiple areas which we have to cover. Because we are the nodal agency in India to need to fight against cybercrime. There was no specific agency before this, because this cybercrime has come up recently in a big way. Maybe because of very fast pace of digitalization that has happened in the country. So now we are, since the nodal agency, we are working in a comprehensive manner, right from prevention, detection, you can say that policy making, then operational part, how to solve cybercrime cases and how to prevent cybercrime cases technically, as well as through non-technical ways like generating awareness among the masses. They are aware like cyber fraud call comes, they are well aware beforehand. So generating awareness is one part, but technically and how we can prevent this type of crime, how we can detect early this type of crimes. So we have basically 7 different verticals where I4C is operating. These verticals, you can say, there are different area of operations which we are doing. Like first, you can say there is a portal which is called NCRP, National Cybercrime Reporting Portal. You are aware of that, most of you, which is where the public comes and they report their complaint when cybercrime happens with them. They become a victim, then they can come and lodge their complaint. It is www.cybercrime.gov.in. So it is not as simple. It is a very big, you can say web portal web application where the first interface is for the public. The same application backend goes to the police officers, the police station, different states. When they log in, they are able to see only their own respective areas. Like for example, a person can lodge a complaint on cybercrime.gov.in from anywhere in the country. It's not open outside India. It's only for Indian citizens who are within Indian geographical region. Now, when he makes a complaint, suppose a person is from Telangana, he lodges a complaint here on this portal. The portal is maintained, managed by us with the help of an IC. But when the Telangana police is logging in, they are able to see their part of this portal, and then they are able to see what complaints have come in their region, and they can take the civil action. So like this, we have different type of logins there, admin controls there. There are different areas can log in. They can see their part, their data analytics and other things are going on. So all these make this portal one, you can say it's in itself a complete work. And nowadays, since lots of complaints are coming, per day it is receiving more than 7,000 complaints as on date. Despite this, we are getting complaints that the portal is running slow. Sometimes they are not able to lodge the complaint. Why? Because the traffic has increased in a big way. So now we are working on NCRP 2.0. We are trying to implement some AI type of things here, like bots and others, which can help people. And we are also working on alternate channels to lodge, which makes people enable people to lodge their complaint. Instead of everybody coming on this portal only, some people should have some WhatsApp thing in their hand. They can lodge a complaint through WhatsApp, or they can use some other social media handles to lodge a complaint. And ultimately, you should go and integrate it in one single place so that all these things we are working other than working on NCRP 2.0, which will strengthen the backend and other part. That is one complaint launch. Then we have 1930 phone number which is running across all India, the national helpline number. Again, person is calling on 1930, but it is again redirected to different states or different numbers, and each state is maintaining right now this number. So we are also working on this, 1930 because we are getting many complaints like sometimes the calls may go unattended. Why? Because the you can say the volume and number of complaints keep on varying calls, and different states are managing in their own way. So we want to have some automation here also, just like you see in railway and other. There's a bot first answering you. Then after certain level it goes to a person. Something like that we are trying to automate so that at least everybody can lodge their complaint, they can get an acknowledgement number. It comes and then how action is taken that we have to see. So this is one part, the NCRP part and the complaint logic. Second is right now we have one CFMC which is called Cyber Fraud Mitigation Center. It is the main operational part of AISS, where we have, because see when a complaint comes to us, cyber fraud happens, it has multiple entities like banking sector is there, we have payment gateway, social media intermediaries, everybody is involved in this one complaint. Because suppose you got a fraud message on your phone, maybe your cell phone, or on a social media portal, on a social media handle, or you use some UPI or payment gateway to make a transaction, and then it went to a bank account. From that bank account, it is moving to different other bank accounts in your home. And the call is coming to a policeman who is sitting in the particular state or police. So all these become a party. So what we are planning, we have started making one rep from each of these parties sit in this control room, and then we have big dashboards where we can see the complaints coming. We are prioritizing based on, suppose there is a complaint of 10,000, complaint of 1 crore. Usually 1 crore gets first attention and we try to make it sorted out. So we try to maintain a balance between the severity of the complaint as well as the timing. So those things are, so this is the main operational part. So this CFMC is running, this is in our own I4C building. Yeah. And here we have API integration with various, banks, financial, other payment gateways, and other financial, sector. So that very, smoothly we can work out. For example, a complaint comes that my money has gone from, say, one bank to another bank. So if we have API integration, it's easy to track, and then the complaints can be forwarded respectively to from this portal to it goes to that bank immediately. And people who are sitting there, they can immediately make a call and follow up. Like that is happening. So it has been set up very recently, it started working, and it has given very good results. Recently we have been able to block 100% of fraudulent amounts in very small time. Suppose a person loses his 10 lakh rupees and he makes a complaint immediately, we have been able to stop those full 10 lakh rupees. Otherwise what happens normally, few amount has been withdrawn, some goes out of the money flow system, and then we are able to save only say 4 lakh, 5 lakh, 2 lakh, some percentage. But now we have been able to save 100% of this blocking. Then there is another channel like how the person is getting back his money. But once it is blocked, then there are full chances that the person can get back his money. Once it is withdrawn or taken out of this money flow system, then it's difficult to get that back. So this is CFMC's operational part. One was I told the portal. One is our JCCD. JCCD is something like the Joint Cybercrime Coordination Teams to investigate. So we have police officers sitting here who are coordinating with different states where the complaint comes and how to track. For that we are using technology because states may or may not have that much of rich technology part. So we are having the central pool of data. All the complaints are coming here. We analyze the data. We can tell which type of frauds are going on very recently, what is the modus operandi, what are the trends, which gateway or which particular platform is being abused the most. So all those data comes to us. Based on that, we are generating actionable inputs. We are sharing with the states, and then we have divided the whole country into 7 regions. And each region we are coordinating with each region, and then we are trying to get the cases solved based on the type of crime hotspots we have defined the regions. So this is one way to solve cybercrime cases, that is JCCD. Then we are strengthening our the able to operate and solve the cases. So we have our national cybercrime forensic laboratory. So lab, because see most of the crime now we are having because cybercrime is totally digital, but other crimes also are having digital footprints. Everybody nowadays earlier we used to have fingerprints and other DNA matching. Now first thing we take the mobile, we use the IP address, we try to do the forensic of hard disk, hard drives. So for this to strengthen all the police forces during investigation, one part is the evidential part. What evidence we are giving in the court, but that is separate. But while the policeman is investigating, he needs to have certain information from the mobile, so that he can follow a particular suspect. He can filter out whom to contact like that. So for investigation purpose, we are setting up a chain of NCFs across the country. We have set up in Delhi. Next is coming up in Assam, and 5 more we have planned, like 7 regions we have. So we are running 7 NCFs. Besides this, we are training the areas in the forensic capabilities, the investigation capabilities. So we are having a training wing, which is called National Cybercrime Training Center. We have online courses model, this portal and online modules for training the judicial officers, the policemen. We have like this. We have different tracks of training. So, and after this, we are having one more, which is the most important part. That is the publicity, because it generates awareness. So we all know that awareness is, prevention is better than cure. So that is a major part that we are creating, because we are having the whole data. Which type of crime is happening more? What is the more? And we can also predict, like based on the data, what is happening, what can happen. So we are trying to give people input before what happens. That this new trend has come. So normally you must have been getting phone calls, emails, or something like this every day. So every day you'll find some new type of modus operandi of criminals. So since we are having 7,000 complaints per day, we analyze and tell people that this is the new trend in market. So be aware of this. So we are running a social media handle which is called Cyber Ghost. So we suggest everybody to follow that, because every day we are putting alerts on that. We have another team which is called, and in this when we say publicity, we normally do online. We do through mass communication channels like TV ads, radio, cinema, all these things. We also go at different places where we have lots of people coming at one place to go and generate awareness. And we are also tying up with different agencies, police, state police, so that they can do at on their different places. That is one part. One important part that I used this was TAU, which is called Threat Analytics Unit. So when all the data comes with us, there is one unit which is dedicated to analyze all this data and then generate the alerts. What is happening? What can happen? Suppose a fake app is coming in the market, which is people are downloading and defrauding their money and everything. So that how says that you must have read in newspaper that this many WhatsApp numbers have been blocked, these many SIMs have been disabled, these many IMEI numbers have been blocked. Like very recently, we disabled 70,000 WhatsApp just last month, which we are running from across India with Indian numbers, and they were used to fraud the people in India. So we blocked those WhatsApp numbers. Similarly, SIMs, 59,000, more than 59,000 SIMs and IMEI numbers also we have disabled. So all this, how it comes? It comes from the TAU team. The input comes our threat analysis unit team, which gives us data, and we are generating, small alerts, booklets, like which is going to all the stakeholders on each day. That this is the alert for today, this alert for tomorrow, like that. And we are analyzing the whole dark web and everything, so that we can generate the which are the phishing URLs, which are the malicious malwares running, which are the malfunctioning apps which are there. So which are social media handles, so all those then and then take down. So when we come to know there is certain social media handle which is impersonating somebody, which is causing some problems, so we are also working for getting them, taking them down from the online cyberspace. So, and lastly, we have one thing which is called NCRIC, National Cybercrime Research and Innovation Center, where we are working on the technology, because cybercrime is mainly a technology-driven, crime. So it is using the latest technologies only. We think technology can counter the technological things which are coming latest. So using AI or using various threat data analytics techniques and tools, what we can do, how we can facilitate our LEAs, how we can strengthen them, and how we can generate better outputs, actionable inputs. For that, we are using technologies. So one team is there which is working to look what is latest in the market technology-wise, which can be harnessed, used to help our in prevention of, or you can say in detection of cyber crimes before. So these seven, I talked about 7 different tasks that our I4C is doing. So we are trying to work in a comprehensive manner. So there is one confusion among people. We are not directly into investigation because we are not law enforcement agencies. We are coordinators. So we are coordinating among various agencies. Like I told you, different stakeholders are there: banking sector, social media intermediaries, Department of Telecommunication. When there are cases of people going outside India and committing cyber crimes, we have to coordinate with MEA. We are working also on, like Mr. Gautam is sitting behind me, he is also looking into international matters like how we can collaborate internationally. Like different countries have their own laws, own rules to counter cyber threats, cyber crimes. So how we can, make a comprehensive, you can say, a collaboration so that we can, because this crime is not a national or a geographically limited crime. It is something which is, a criminal can sit in USA and commit a crime in India. Right now we are seeing criminals are sitting in Southeast Asia and committing crime in India. So we need to have some international collaboration, some rules, laws. So, for example, there is crypto-based crimes. So cryptocurrency, people are converting the money, fraudulent money to cryptocurrency. They are sending it somewhere, and sometimes cryptos are maintaining anonymity. So we are not able to trace who has purchased, where it has gone. So all those challenges need to be addressed internationally. So for that also we are working and trying to make policies, international collaboration. So anything you can think of while countering or preventing cybercrime or investigating cyber crimes, that in all those domains I4C is working. So I think I've given a fair enough idea what I4C is doing. Any other query you can have, you can get it answered.
Yeah, I'm not very. I'm facilitator. Please.
Good afternoon to all. Before I start, I apologize to all the members because we are a bit late. Due to some hectic digital program was there, so we have to complete. Just to add on with what Nishan sir has told, basically two things. One is into the forensics, and second is the research. In forensics, we are in particular to assisting the law enforcement agencies. For that, we are establishing new labs, National Cybercrime Forensic Laboratories. Basically, these are not for the evidentiary purposes. These are only for the assistance. I mean, like the person, the IO who is sitting in Puducherry, you want to do in a police station, if he want to do some forensics regarding mobile, so he has to approach to his headquarters or to the nearby SFL or any other place. So what we are doing, we are looking for the enterprise solutions or cloud services which we can facilitate the law enforcement agencies sitting in Puducherry. He can access the tool and he can do the mobile forensics, at least for the investigation purposes. This is the primemost thing for us. And second part, as we know, like every state law enforcement has requirements in malware, for mobile, and this in any other category of the forensics, but they are unable to purchase it. And what our mandate, we are looking for under two schemes. One is CCPWC scheme, that is Cybercrime Prevention Against Women and Children, in which we have established forensic training laboratories in each state. I mean, other 3 states, they are under process. And NCFLs, that is under I4C, which is established in Dwarka, in our this premises of Delhi Police, and the other one is yet to come in Assam. So these labs, we are integrating through a network in which the people sitting in any remotest area can access these labs to get the problems to be solved, at least for the investigation purposes. This is our plan we are thinking, and we are going in that direction to establish the linkages and to establish the whole network and making the NCFL lab as a whole edge state-of-art facility in our country to have interlinked with all these small labs. That is the first thing. And second part, we would like to interact with you because we want your support in collaboration. One thing, if you have a good technology in which not only for license, we are not looking for any license, or we are not looking for any simple tool. We want a solution, holistic solution in which the whole nation should work on it. What the network we have told. This comes under the National Cybercrime Research and Innovation Center. There is a component with us, what I rightly mentioned. We always collect the problem statement from the law enforcement agencies. On that problem statements, we identify or we interact with various academias. Right now, we are working with the IITs, NITs, IITs. And we are giving the problem statement to those institutions to come out with a tool or a solution. And that solution we are giving to the law enforcement agencies to test whether it is successful for you or you want any other modification. So that the process is going on. So as of now, we have given around 6 plus 5, 11 problem statements. So various other organizations are working on it. So we would like to interact with you all also, so that we need collaboration with that. And coming to the international cooperation, we are very active. Previously on cyber security was very active, but now in particular to cybercrime, the I4C is a point of nodal contact with other countries where we are working in cybercrime related issues. So, for example, in 2022 we had a seminar or workshop on cybercrime investigations with France, and this month also we are having with France, in particular to cryptocurrency investigation. So the people from France, the delegation will come. They will share the best practices and what sort of investigation and the type of investigation they are doing. That would be helpful for the law enforcement agencies. So not only for the France, we are working with US, we are working with Europe, we are working with Southeast Asian countries. So we are in collaboration with almost our like-minded countries. So I think if you have any particular question in collaborations or any other thing, we would like to answer it. Thank you.
And thank you, Mr. Anji, for really finding time coming here and discussing. This was the first time that we thought to get you here and talk to industry, because you must be knowing that early this year we signed a MOU with I4C. We have been working with I4C and the SEBI and many other state police. But this partnership is like, for example, there are many areas, both of them have very important. Some of you know that DSCI has this center in Bangalore, and because of the center, we also understand what it takes to train police officers. This was supported by Infosys, and this is a state-of-art center. And it's not only training the police officers and judiciary, it's also doing the research as well. Some of the publication that we have, MHA really likes the work that our directors is here as well. So when you come somewhere, our village, so people can see you and engage with you, right? So, but one of the key things which we had been talking to I4C and especially the law enforcement officials is the scale at which these problems are going. That's what the innovation and research comes into picture. You need a lot of systems thinking here. For example, some years back, it was very difficult for recovery. Like we suddenly talk about this case of one manufacturing industry chairman deferred to 7 crore rupees, but many people will reply, but they almost like was recovered. So this recovery is possible now. If you are able to really register the case, there is a possibility of law enforcement officer. That's the system I4C is built as well. So and the recovery is significantly increased. And I was fortunate when this there was a delegation which go to France, after which all of those things started. So I was part of the delegation with I4C, AISS, and MEA there, and we discussed about various different possibilities and law enforcement cooperation. And the cooperation at this level is one of the important parts in the France that we have been doing, but many other countries this is happening as well. Right? So, and then the kind of digitization that we are doing in this country, the scale at which we have been doing, with these interventions of enterprise that we have been bringing, right? So
So the scale and volume at which things are happening and way it will happen from now because AI coming in and there was a last month itself we have this AI investigation specific workshop for the senior police officers from Gujarat and there is also part of that. So now with AI, our biggest worry is AGI coming in picture. So ability of fraudster and our problem is as a industry or individual, we are not using all those capabilities because we are constrained to use that because there are so many ifs and buts for that. Fraudsters are using it. Very distance kind of a context they can process and they can create a market opportunity of that. So how do you address that? So there are a lot of interesting idea we got to work. So there was one important report we published and I4C really liked the work that we did. So entire these fraud databases in India, something RBI maintains, something NPCI maintains, bank maintains it. Then there is central. So how do you connect all them together basically, right? And what kind of technology you use for that basically? So there is a definitely connection that I4C has of almost 250 plus financial institutions. But if you have to trigger that, then how can API you can build for that? We got a support from the industry to work on some of this problem statement visualization policy, which is a CEO of I4C, which has put those questions and problems to us, and they are trying to find solutions. So we need a lot of support from industry because systems thinking, artificial intelligence is required, technology expertise is required. So it's our responsibility. Right? Otherwise, what will happen? The trust of cities on digital means and methods will go away. If same things goes in the way that we see as of now. Right? It's our responsibility because we understand technology better to contribute to this work, the effort we can put together. And there are mechanisms we are ready to work on. There are 3 more industry players which have really worked on to solve some of the problems and help them. But the scale at which things are happening, that requires very intense kind of a contribution from the industry. And that's the basic idea we have been deliberating on. So there is definitely one level of effort required for awareness of NCT. That's definitely one area. For the CSM that we have, the Cybersecurity Awareness Month, I4C is also partner in that program. And we are doing a lot of interesting work there. And we are also now going to different small states as well. So going to schools, going to the different states, going to different language, telling those specific languages as well. But still the kind of effort, and now one of the thing in innovation side, I4C is a database of almost last 3-4 years. And now with Mighty, I4C is working on there's one hackathon which is happening, and this hackathon I'm also part of the hackathon evaluation, where just understanding the database in terms of how people are registering the cases, and can you improve the system using some of the NLP AI technologies, and that's and we got a very good response for that. Almost 300 plus companies, startups are responding for that, and we believe that will, because that's one of the important ideas that we delivered to the batch. There are millions of cases getting registered, so getting a sense of those cases is also a very important part. So some of these things that we have been doing, and we want more such kind of interaction between industry and I4C to happen, so that we channelize this effort, these kind of contributions from the industry to different areas that we have been doing.
Just to add to one more thing I missed out, our ministry, even I4C, we are basically looking for the Make in India approach.
Yeah.
That is the priormost, and that is a challenge even for us also.
In the forensic side, we graduated a lot in cybersecurity. Just if you go upside, you'll see there are a lot of Indian companies in cybersecurity, but digital forensic is still an area. In fact, with Rajesh, this is one of the important things that we want to take on our agenda. We are also putting a report on what is happening on technology side in forensic industry. This segment, because law enforcement is a client, and sometimes you may not get that investment that you see in other cybersecurity, right? And that's the big challenge here. How do you solve that challenge from market relevant perspective and investor perspective is something that we don't do.
Very true. Basically, for the forensic part, I think rightly pointed out, we are mostly relying on the foreign products which are there for forensics. Some Indian products have come for firewall and other things, and some Indian institutes like CDEC and others, they have worked in the area of forensics, but they have not been very successful. So we met certain startups who are working but they're still in the nascent phase. They are in the under the trial and evaluation. So we want certain well tested, so that we want to replace the foreign tools, but since we are not getting those outputs, so we have to be dependent on those.
Yeah.
And what another part, what we are rightly pointed out about hackathons. So we are also promoting the startups. So when hackathons are open, it is either for individuals, means a group of individuals from particular institutes, or they are for startups. So very recently, we have done 3 hackathons in last 3 years. This is the third one. 2 earlier has been happening. And one more part, AI. There is a lot of emphasis on AI. Like what you said, the fraudsters are using AI. Like you must have heard about the deepfake, and then the callings are going on in certain voice you're getting. So to counter those things, we need to have AI-based tools. That is one part. How we can detect immediately that is a deepfake voice. So there are again certain tools. Indian tools are less, more foreign tools are there. But still, to get more perfection, it's a challenge right now. And like to predict the future trend of cybercrimes, to analyze the present cybercrimes, all those require AI based. So foolproof AI tools are a need of the hour. So that is one part.
So with this, door is open for any question. I'll come to Sidhu first.
Yeah, I have one question. It's a good thing that we have from the portal where people can raise a complaint, and then the API is there for all the banking systems, right? Where real time probably you can stop money going from right. I will have a use case. I'm the perpetrator, right? What I do is I siphon out say 10 crores from whatever fraud that I do, and I sprinkle maybe 10 lakhs worth of money in 1,000 accounts, each one maybe, right? Then automatically those accounts automatically
Got a new account, right? So
right?
multiple layers of done.
Yeah. So, but these accounts I'll pick it in such a way that these are critical accounts for economic activity of the city or the industry, right? What I'm losing is 10 lakhs, but I'm making the economic activity stop for some time because they can't transact. So, how is probably the coordination company look at and say that, okay, if the money coming to this account is only 50,000, I'm going to stop only for 50,000, but the activity and the account can continue to happen. Is that something? Because currently, my understanding is that the account gets blocked for some time.
Yeah, this is a right question because at the starting stage of our CFMC, when we have initiated this module, at that time banks were also in a stage whether we have to hold the amount which was defrauded or to the account. So few banks, what they did to hold the defrauded amount, and few banks they have freeze the whole account. But now there are certain directions from their agencies also that the only defrauded amount will be on hold. It's not the bank account that will be on hold.
Yeah, my understanding is
And
that
then I
not
think
have consistent.
Venkatesh, we are also looking at SOP, right? So, so I think Rajesh.
Yes, that's what I.
Yeah, so this SOP, so earlier there used to be a lot of inconsistency. So now this SOP is trying to build up some kind of convergence to this level. I know when you do coordination at the central level, no, it may lead to this kind of problem. But
Right.
there is ways to solve those problems.
Right. So that was a preconception before also. Now the bank's representatives are sitting with us in a room. So there are certain guidelines to them also. So now the account is not free. Like the defrauded amount will be on hold for further investigation.
We go to Niraj.
Hello.
Niraj, then we will come to it.
Yeah, I'm Neeraj Kumar. Runs a company called Third Eye Techno Solutions Private Limited, and it is purely in digital forensics domain. So as the panel was discussing about, you are looking for Make in India product. I am also a very big supporter of the Make in India product, but at the same time, every stakeholder knows that this cannot be achieved within few months, even within few years. And even if we achieve, this is an area where every OEM, every product manufacturer has different target to make their product, and every product has different USP related to the artifacts they are extracting from the digital evidence. So in fact, as I have seen this industry for last 17, 18 years, whatever the product has come into the market, every agency need all those products. So even if we develop our product in India, that will definitely be used, but at the same time, we would need all the products which are available globally for the other law enforcement agencies and which will be used in our investigation.
Yeah, I think this is an important problem, and we will come to your problem because.
No, this is because the entire industry.
I'm just saying towards end we'll come to this topic. This is an important problem, but let's park it for some time because people here will talk about the larger fraud and crime issue. Okay, let's go to those issues, then we'll come to the. I just want to reflect on that, but let's understand the first time we're talking industry. But we'll before we close, we'll certainly reflect on that.
That's right.
Yeah. So, thank you, Vinayak. First, compliments for getting I4C on board. It's a good initiative. And compliments to I4C also to come out in the premises that you are there. My question is probably an extension of just on the other side. Right now, the process is the punishment. I don't know the conversion figures of the number of crimes reported on online legal or cybercrime .gov.in, what is the conversion process. I think last I checked up was around 6 to 7%. That is what I learned. Plus, standard focus on high value transactions. More than 50 lakhs in any case, economic offense comes in. So that traceability is still there. The low volume transaction and high value, low volume transaction and high transaction. These are what are the, I think, masses where they are affected. Where you could probably, we are probably dealing with the classical way, maybe. You could look at probably doing the tapping the mule accounts. If you can lock the mule accounts in the first interaction, because the money is very, there for a very transient period, the mule accounts. So if we can, through the coordination that you are doing, if you can enable the
mule account is important point.
If you can enable the banks to lock them immediately. Right now, my account gets blocked. The mule account is still running. If you can block the mule account, it does a lot of good.
No, that's happening too, right? Yeah.
No, it's not like that the mule accounts are not getting blocked, but we are having a continuous track. We are making all the banks sit there, we are showing them a graph. This was your mule account in January, this is in February, this is in March, which is going up, which is going down. Some banks have done very good work, but there is a trade-off. For example, we keep only last week or the last month, basically we had this meeting. So government wants ease of doing business. So if we say, now what happens, there is one Udyam certificate. You are registering on a portal, you get Udyam certificate, banks have an instruction, go to them, you get Udyam certificate, give them a current account. From same address, same bank, same, they are running 10 different entities with each having one current account. So now the question comes, so we are doing multiple things, we are also doing geo-tagging. We are trying to see, so banks have been given clear instruction, RBI has been meant to give, right now they have given one advisory. Very soon they will come up with guidelines and instructions that you have to follow. So it's not like, but the problem is like, in one day we cannot get a single systematic things are there. So we are aware, not only mule accounts, I can say how these many SIMs are getting issues. One person is, you are getting, every day you are getting, I am telling we have blocked, 59,000 SIMs. Still you are getting daily calls from new SIM cards. How these SIMs are getting issued. So, Department of Telecommunication is working with us, issuing to hardening the guidelines. But again, one company says, I have 50 employees, I want to purchase 50 SIMs. You cannot say you will not issue you 50 SIMs. So, there are trade-offs we have to, counter and check and balance. But very soon, slowly, we are coming on those pinpoints and then pain point basically. Counter and get the solve. Because only, as I said, it's a comprehensive approach. It's not like only the,
One quick suggestion, I was expecting to leave it, but then maybe if you look at the banking process, though not in your mandate, but if you look at the banking process, it addresses half the problem. Today the payee number name is not reflected. That's the biggest challenge. Some banks have introduced it as a paid service. If you show the payee number, a lot of things get stopped then and there.
Yeah, so I think, but at the same time, you have to be mindful of one is the Shyam we talk about, so there's a digital India goal as well. Transaction also needs to be processed in the fastest possible time. For example, there was the idea of can you hold money for some time. So just imagine you're going to shopkeeper and you're paying, and that money, because one of the key innovations which happened that there is immediately audio confirmation. That confirmation message is so important for a shopkeeper. Right? If you hold that money, there was a lot of discussion on that part as well. So we are also mindful of so many other contexts, digital India, goal, ease of doing business. Sometimes privacy as well, right? So privacy will also come into picture, right? All that needs to be factored when you are devising this kind of solutions. Come to Bhaskar. What is? Yeah, please.
Just adding. So, quick context is the name in terms of UPI as well as bank account being visible for any of the UPI transactions and such was a key fraud prevention idea that came out of Ribbit as a structure for RBI. Now, in context of that, adoption in terms of UPI was quick and available because it is anyway a transaction that you do with an account already attached. For NEFT, IMPS and such, they essentially anyway are charging for transaction value, and then banks decided to add that as an add-on service. Now it is an entirely economic service that you can pick a bank that essentially allows you to do it for free, or pick a bank that essentially charges you 2 rupees.
Yeah, so why bank charges is also a reason, there's the economic reason for that, right? Because in the entire UPI ecosystem, bank doesn't get any extra money.
MDR is negative.
MDR, so sometimes they need to earn money for this algorithm. That's another important argument we have in the entire such kind of DPI ecosystem we are creating. You are now asking, allowing people to earn money out of it, and that's why there is no investment happening on fraud management side, right? So that's also one of the important policy decision, right? So if you allow people to earn a little bit money out of it, they will invest back into security and fraud management kind of thing, right? So, but it's a very larger public policy issue not to be discussed here, right? Yeah, what's the quick question?
Yes, quick question, because I think nobody has covered this here. Because in mobile, we get a lot of fraud calls, everything happening. And I and my friends, we receive calls from +88, +92. We know that there are neighboring countries.
What it means, largest score comes from
those numbers, and also +7 also started these days. That is unfortunately 2 countries hold the same mobile country code. +7.
+1 is shared by 2 countries.
Yes. Yeah. And then what is the question I'm asking is, does these I4C has got the ability to get in touch with Interpol countries, all those things, and how is the alliance and our my friend who is working on, does it really help? Because in the digital world, you may find you have the technology, everything, even going through a reverse IP, all those things, finding if it is IP address, all those things can happen. But in this case, since it's mobile, within Indian operators, we have all the control and they have to follow the land of the law. But since it is outside our borders, and how are you able to make it happen?
Well, just to add to this, right? One is the mobile operator, but many of these calls comes either on Skype or, for that matter, on
soft phones,
or WhatsApp or like video call. All the details is mostly on in the Skype or. So I know privacy reason you can't see what is happening in that call, but there is metadata which is there, and there is other meta, which is a number of time that you, because some of the details is lasting for 2 days, 3 days, 5 days. Last week I looked at one case where 5 days. This lady is an MTech in corporate science. She ended up losing 20 lakhs rupees in Bangalore. 5 days she was in a digital arrest. So how do we solve this problem more technically? So one is after is definitely there is an ecosystem, there is a case register, and then there is action that is taken. But how do you look at, is there a preventive way of solving this?
There are 2 aspects. One, what you said is like the IP address, how we are tackling it. See, for example, Skype. So majorly the digital arrest scams that I should not mention here the Skype, but it is one of the platforms that are being used by the fraudsters. So we used to get multiple IP addresses from the Skype, which are from outside, and we coordinated with multiple agencies. And I should say, for formal ways, we should have MOUs with other countries, or there is a channel through MLAT or LR. That is a very long process again. So, in formal direction and informal direction. So, we have communicated with other countries and we have blocked those IPs. So, Skype, they got to know that by using their platform that has been happened. So they have turned on and immediately they have given the reply that we have blocked these IPs. So at least we know that information that certain IPs are there. And for the citizen also we have a concept like suspect repository in our portal. So if you have any number like +91 +92 or any number, if it is reflecting in your mobile, you can just mention this number has been reflected and this is a suspicious call for me. So then simultaneously the DOT is working on it and DOT is simultaneously blocking those numbers. So that again you won't get that number. That is one way. And coming to what you said regarding the if it is like sharing of information, so we are in multiple MOUs with certain countries in a formal direction. So once that is signed, we will get more approach to these tackling of these type of sentiments. Thanks.
We are partnering with, like what preventive thing we talked about. So we have been partnering with telecom operators like, or telecommunication services providers like Truecallers who are working on the, so they can generate. We are telling them why can't you block if you are getting certain things, but they cannot block abruptly because sometimes a spam call may be coming from a bank or somewhere which is useful for you or something. But at least they can generate an alert beforehand. So you must have seen Airtel has now started giving you spam message, even if you are not installing Truecaller or anything, but you will get a message like spam. Yeah, suspected spam. So like that, Truecaller also has partnered. They are working with through our this thing that, and with the intermediaries, payment gateways, Razorpay and other, they are also all working in collaboration with us, so that we are telling them what can be done to prevent or alert the citizen. When you get a call, you pick it up. You know that I have to first cross check whether it may be a fraud. So at least you are alert when you are picking up the call. That's the point. Sorry.
Yeah, so I read in the item that there was in Assam some 5,000 SIMs were being smuggled and they were caught. And then there is a separate news item that I think 35,000, that's I4C reporter, 35,000 Indians are in digital slavery in Southeast Asia. So I am just putting these two together, and my personal experience that getting an Indian SIM is for me after doing a long process of KYC is very difficult. So how are these fraudsters are able to get Indian SIMs so easily now? So if you are smuggling 5,000 SIMs.
So there are certain loopholes like how they are getting in the name of a company you are taking. Suppose because see, sometimes we have got interrogated and caught people while investigating the crimes that they are just hiring people who were in the network of fraudsters who had to do nothing. Their job was just one, to purchase 10 SIM, 15 SIM in their name and just giving to the main mastermind or whoever the network is. So that suppose you have 500 people, everybody is just getting issued 50 SIM on his name, maybe in the name of a company or somewhere. You have 2,500 SIMs. So this is how they are doing. For dual account, we got an information. The fraudsters made a team. They went to a village in say very remotely in Odisha. They said you just have to give your Aadhaar, PAN, whatever is there to open a bank account. 5,000 to each person. People readily gave. They are not aware. So it was a drive to open dual accounts. So these type of things are happening. So they are all under our knowledge. So we are trying to find out ways to prevent them. Even or to prevent them first is the most biggest priority. Otherwise, to stop how it can be stopped. So all these things are into so that's why we are working with telecom department to make the rules more stringent, get SIMs issued. So all these things are the work. Yes, sir.
So one suggestion, I don't know if it's on, but I don't know. So if it falls in your purview or DOT, but probably the calls which are coming from outside, see, as a normal citizen, I'm not supposed to get those calls, right? If you look at some of our neighboring countries, I would not want it either because I don't have anybody and I don't expect any calls. So, can we look at a system where I subscribe and say I don't want it? I just want these countries, say US, Canada, which I normally interact with, and those only remain in my sphere, and rest all calls, whether phone calls or WhatsApp or those software calls, gets barred. I think that would probably cut out majority of these spam calls that we get and the crimes that perpetrate after that.
It's true. It will be a personal choice.
Absolutely.
So there can be some mechanism.
But kind of geo-blocking on a phone.
But by default is very difficult because somebody will say, I need to have those ones.
No, I get a choice. I say, okay, tick, 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 tick. All Southeast Asia, all Asia Pac, all Africa.
I customize this choice. Everybody can customize on the phone. But see, the challenge is you can do it at telecom. Say I come from telecom, I understand something is kind of telecom. But in the application, how can you insert those choices? It's very difficult for you to touch application. For example, I'm not sure that you can do it.
That's where the authorities come.
No, but still, I think there are a lot of things which can be done at telecom level. Your switch has those capabilities, but there are a lot of things which goes at the application level. It's very difficult to do that basically. You may do it at a call, you can drop it, you will restrict it, but then with WhatsApp, you can still do it because WhatsApp can cooperate with you. But there are so many other platforms where you may get a call. Right? It's not easy to restrict that.
Not all the platforms will be using as a citizen.
Yeah.
If I look at it out here, also probably 2 or max 3 platforms would have been used.
But another thing is working to application level, na? Then there is a routing can happen, right?
So we force them.
Routing. When the proxies are all across globe, so to that proxies you are sitting in Pakistan, but the call will come from USA. So it's not that easy, but yes, you need to keep trying. But when you're trying, that's what we try to block the account. We realize that keep blocking accounts are getting more problems because
it's very true what he's telling. There are many technologies available where an international call will appear to you as a local call when it comes to you.
Yes, that in case I am very sensitive kind of a person. For a normal citizen, for somebody on ground, this is what. See, if it's a targeted approach, you can control it certainly. But for a common citizen, this can be done. See, if I'm a high value asset, high value resource, I can be. People will put in effort to do a couple of things to violate this fundamental principle. But for common citizens, it's not a.
I can tell you, if you block some of the neighboring countries, call will start coming from other countries. So easy to. Anonymization is such a critical feature. People can also understand.
Common man or specialty cannot quantify unless the person has his own choice.
So Vinayak, here I would like to rather counter this, because if that is the rationale for this, then the government should stop blocking any website. I mean, this is something which has been happening in the country for almost 27 years. Since the end of 1997, that was the first instance of blocking of website in India. And by the way, that happened to be a VoIP website. It was not because there was spam or anything like that. It was just that at that point of time, DSCI did not allow VoIP calls. That was the first instance. All that I'm saying is, if that is a rationale, that people could use proxies and other things, I mean, even these domains, they come up with some other domain.
Yeah, but the process for every blocking is such a tedious process, right? For every call, it has to be a very dynamic process for that.
It will slow down the speed, response time and all, right? Yeah, but
so we'll take US and US together.
Yeah, so just one more point on related is to people mentioned that, but I think that crowdsourcing basically is a very important way to solve problems like this. And crowdsourcing, your ICC should not even talk about coordinating with other agencies, but with all of us. So as you said, people can report. A lot of them are not aware where to report. Is it like a black hole? We report, again I get the call next time. So I lose confidence on reporting. We do not call registry. Completely ineffective. We report, we keep getting calls. So it's important for you to make effective measures like this and also communicate maybe through cellular point like ISP. If I have Airtel, Airtel should send me a message which is in a way where it's prominently to every citizen that this is the place where to report it. That's not there. Like we have this justified call message, it comes through what protocol? We get right? Cyclone, all countries, India also I think.
Yeah.
Alerts. I'm not sure which protocol they use, it just pops up. That you should
protocol.
Yeah, but we don't get it. Common man don't know about it. Many people don't know where to go. So please see how it gets done.
We are working already.
That's very, very important.
That is true.
The other is Truecaller Truecaller, the
No, that is their job. See, what Truecaller is doing, that we are just collaborating, asking them to do it more permanently. But this doesn't stop us from doing our duty. We are doing it. Very soon you will see what you want. We are doing many multiple, platforms, multiple ways. So very soon everybody will be here to listen. Within a month or so, you will come to know. Then people will say, "What सुना दिया?" That also.
This platform is also
I'll do that.
now because we are also mindful of time for both of them. This platform is also how can we contribute?
Yes,
How can we? There's somebody like InfoSys is already contributing quite intensely in this area. There are some organizations which are helping them. There are financial institutions contributing to that. So we want to see how can we channelize more contribution, more from doing awareness is the easy part, but more importantly helping to think about the problem better and also solution. So how do you make sure that we really work towards contributing to make it better and better?
Here I would like to add, I would like to add to your question that how do we contribute? As a citizen, I do appreciate the work which I4C has already coordinated and carried out here. But as an organization, it is our responsibility also to involve in such activities and then give our help to the nation. So what I suggest is that as an organization, like if I talk about my organization, Vedanta, so we do have CSR activities being done everywhere. So it is if we can coordinate like DSCI or the forces can coordinate with our CSR teams, where the teams are going in and around across the all the small villages also, and to educate them or to bring them up in so many other different areas. So we can even take care of this cyber awareness also as one of the key areas where we can.
One part is how do you use some of your sales activity for addressing some of the problem is definitely one challenge. But sir, I was also in Silicon Valley and I met a lot of India Vision people there, and some of their family members are got into the problems. This lady's income that given, her husband is in a valley who runs a very successful second startup, and he's saying, how can I contribute? So one is the CSR and the awareness which we have figured out, and so we are taking your help on this. But there are other areas which requires a lot of those intense kind of effort. What kind of channel we can enable where it will be easy for people to contribute this?
So, here I have a small solution. If DSCI could create a platform where industry could offer, whether CSR or anything else for that one, they could just list what is it that they are willing to or contribute in this direction. And same way, from I4C or other agencies, they can list out the requirement from their side. What is it that they are looking for? So maybe there are things that you are looking for, you might get. Maybe you are getting something which you were not really looking for, but you find it useful. And so this is, and after that, you can sort of interact with one another.
This is a good idea. I think one thing is clear, since you are sitting on the other side of the fence, so you are so many problems we have counted out already, and we don't deny that because India is such a vast population. So many people have started calling. So naturally, there are hotel prop issues, there are maybe some phone call issues like that. So most of the problems we are aware of right now. So any solution you have in your mind, of course, you can share that with us. If a portal comes up, it's very good. We can also enable such type of portal where you can contribute like that. Or right now we have emails and other things you can communicate, of course, that we want to have this type of solution that we can do, provide you. Because problems everybody is aware. We have seen so many ideas and books coming on. Something specific we have in our mind, we can also share on that platform. It's a good idea. As far as awareness is concerned, anybody can do that. Any of you are free, you have your own responsibility, everybody has their own network. So at least you can start, doing that so that awareness comes as the first line of defense. So that is one part, and then technologically, other ways how you can support, you can enable them. So most welcome.
So DSCI is much better to train police officers in investigation and do research. But somehow we also feel that we are still not doing that much from the preventive side, right? And we are thinking that although AI and all this, that was more hackathon level, but hackathon may build some solutions, but we need very organized, very efficient, dynamic solution. How can we build that? And we are also looking to set up a small team, and that's what I was talking about yesterday as well, in DSCI, so that this team can look at technology solution, work with all of you, because we help in couple of things, but that's also not very consistent from our side. So we should be also the DSCI kind of a bandwidth for such kind of contribution, because if you don't do it, because our worry is we are talking about 2047. Currently, we are just reaching 1 billion in the economy. 2047, we are goal up 30 to 35 trillion in economy. Now 20%, that will be 30%. So it is a 10 trillion economy at stake. It is such a critical now. If you don't really all work together, then some of the goals that we are putting together for digitization of the economy will get. And then India's examples have been quoted by so many other countries. You know, UN is also putting together a paper, final paper in come. How can other countries replicate this model of DPI for digitization economy? If you really don't put our full attention to this, those designs of India to take some of these ideas to the global platform will also get jeopardized. That's why we need to do more aggressive. DSA was until now working with law enforcement, so we were also not very openly talking about the work we do, but we should be also very forthcoming in terms of how should we contribute for this. And any ideas are welcome for this, but we want to make it sure that we don't do this one-off kind of a discussion. We make this more like a continual engagement and see that these contributions are really productive in nature. It's not one-off kind of a contribution. And then the last point is in the process as well. How do you create capability? So services industry is much better here, but developing technology is important part. And this particular area requires very different attention, because here client is a law enforcement officer, not a corporate client. So getting that investment, getting those support is also very tricky, right? We are trying to do key research is happening, then can we productize it? So for example, we are pushing. So Third is a great example for this. Right? So they are in services, but somehow we are pushing all the services companies to start a new product company. So they already started a product company, they already incubated DSCI. And the idea is that we are getting them to connect the researcher. But we are really happy that these kind of things are happening. With AI, at least in the conference that we had last year, there's a lot of Indian cases where how companies in India are helping to use AI for solving some of the problems here. So on that, just we can conclude that. On that, how can we also take that as a key agenda? And we last year when we did this G20 crime where we got startups to engage and we demonstrated the capability. How can we do this as a mode? But also, this is also very important. It's a opportunity, but it's also very complex opportunity. Right? And enabling that is very critical. And this is a agenda we have to take, because investment in this area is not easy. Market is not easy basically. So how can we enable that? So that's the last point that we can take.
Yeah. So basically, like when you are trying to interact with areas or other, it's better you come through a channel of I4C. Because we are one central body who are in constant touch with all the areas. We are providing technology solutions. So if you come to us, and we are aware because we are sitting at a central place, we are, because maybe a policeman sitting as police officer sitting at Telangana may not be aware of what is happening in Himachal or in Punjab. But we are having a central location, having a view of all. So we are aware when you come with a solution, we are aware that this solution may be useful for say these many states, may not be these states, but it should be implemented there. Or if it is universal, we can facilitate that, we can develop the solution and put it. We have done many such solutions in the very recently. We have done that. We have Samanway and we have Pratibhi, many such type of things are there. So these are tools, name of tools and applications. So that is one part that can become. And second one, just out of context, one part like AI basically is much in push and knowledge. So our honorable PM and HM, they have multiple times at different occasions, they have told that we should use AI in a big way. In all the ministries, AI is being pushed, but since cybercrime is mainly a technology-driven crime, AI needs to be incorporated. You all are well aware of those problems, so you can think of solutions. If you have something, you can come up. So, and just last point, what you mentioned, few such interactions, some workshops, some this type of seminar, or we can have at certain duration, where like one portal suggestion came where you can tell and we can tell you. But these type of formal interactions, these can sometime after discussions some new things come up. So we can have those type of things more frequently. So we are open to industry, and EPP is a very basic term. So Unless we cannot think of sitting in a government, we can do everything alone. We are very limited set of people. We have to do it, and you are, in market facing a lot of competition, technology wise. So you are well aware what is happening globally, what is happening within India. So you can come up with good solutions. Like I told you a few things. We are working on automation of 1930 through bots who can understand multiple languages, because there are some challenges. People will call from a rural area in Hindi only. He will have a different accent. Or person calling from city will have a different accent. So we need such solution which can understand both. Then different languages are coming differently. I'm talking just about one language. So we are trying to devise these type of things. We are trying to work on the portal, but there are still lot many challenges. For example, somebody told about Google about a SIM solution. If we have some technological solutions, instead of relying on a human being, like Google account, we are having, you are telling, why can't we tell bank? We are having a list of branches, one branch of each bank. Which branch is opening more number of Google account? We are asking them, calling them. But that is a manual process. Why can't we have some technological things to counter these type of problems? So these things can be thought of, and you can come up with solution. Right now you can channelize it to DSCI, and otherwise you can.
In the solutioning part, I think mostly it is happening to hackathon or research here. But sometimes those solutions may not be a enterprise grade which can be that professional. So, like for example, I ran a campaign cohort for AI for cybersecurity. In just span of 1 month, I got 45 startups talking about so many use cases, but none of that was use case here. So similarly, we can do it for the forensic, and I think we can work with other and other players. How can we use AI for solving the challenges that we are talking about here? Yeah, those solutions should be more professional grade solution. So that's the basic effort of it. But we hope this was a useful interaction. And Venkatesh, you can take them to the startup area and other technology. Thank you.
I would like to take a moment to reflect on the insights we have shared and the collective vision just we discussed. Our dialogue today around critical national cybersecurity program from National Cybercrime Register Builder to CPCCP, National Cybercrime Research Center, Threat Analytics Unit, and CyberDose Initiative underscores the paramount importance of collaborative efforts in securing the digital space. We have explored the multifaceted approach that are pivotal to realizing Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi's vision of cyber secure Bharat. Each initiative that we discussed here represents a crucial step towards a building robust, secure digital ecosystem from our nation. I want to express a heartfelt gratitude to Mr. Gautam and Mr. Nishan and Vinayak Gulsik for their thought-provoking discussion, the exchange, and everyone here present for an active participation as well, thoughtful contributions, and commitment to this critical mission. Thank you once again.
Thank you.